Hey everyone, today we're going to check out the synth craziness of the WK-1600 and I'm going to show you how it's done. The synthesizer section is the most imaginative and versatile part of the whole WK-1600 system. Default sound is grand piano, of course. If we go to 200, that's the first of the user sounds. We can store a total of 31 user sounds, and this is the first one I came up with. So not exactly synthesizer magic, but it is fun to experiment with. And here's how it works. You press the synth button, and it starts you off by telling us that we're going to be editing the first oscillator. Some voices will have two, and in that case, arrows up and down will appear over here, corresponding with the cursor arrows, and that'll enable you to edit the other oscillators. I've never seen more than two for a particular voice. Anyway, let's just keep going to the right, and you'll see that we're on PCM sound number 33. And if we go ahead and change that using the plus and minus buttons, all the other parameters of this synth sound will remain the same. So we can try out the synth envelope with a whole range of different sounds. That one's pretty cool, so let's leave it there for the moment. Moving on to the next one, we've got the Amplitude Envelope AENV. You can see it's set to 100 right now. That's not necessarily a level of intensity. There are basically 100 different ways in which the amplitude can evolve. Let's try a few out. So the amplitude envelope gives us a number of subtle changes, and you really have to get in and explore all 100 of them because the differences are not massive. Let's move on to the attack setting, and this is more simple. The lower the value, the longer the initial attack. Sometimes the attack journey can be a little bit of a bumpy road, and that can be quite interesting and sometimes a little bit distracting. Anyway, the next category is release, and that's exactly the same, but it's at the other end. So if we increase that to just about maximum, you get a very quick release. If we make it a really slow release, sound fades in from our slow attack and takes quite a long time to fade out. Next category, and this is where it gets interesting. This is the pitch envelope. This one has 45 different algorithms. Again, it's not a measure of intensity. You just have to try out different ones and see how they feel. That one has quite a lively arpeggio. Same thing in the other direction. So quite a few interesting things to discover there. Next is pitch, and this is the actual pitch of the sound in micro increments, just so you can match it up to your other instruments perfectly. Then we've got direct transposing, which is obviously a bit more intense, so if that's our note, I could go up 12. And that's pretty self-explanatory. Pressing the plus and minus together will return it to its initial level, which is 0 in this case. Speaking of levels, that's our overall volume. We can set the intensity of our touch sensitivity. We can also set pan, although I should point out that's a fixed value. You can't make it swish from side to side. We've got a DSP that can do that. Then if we're happy with all settings, we can press synth again, and that's going to exit us from the editing mode. It asks us if we want to save, and we say yes or no. Save in number 200. Well, I've already got something that I quite like in 200, so I'm going to go up to, I think 210 was my next available slot. Then I'll press enter. Very easy to edit the name. You just press plus and minus and scroll through with the direction keys. Press enter again. Replace the sound that's already in that slot. Well, I know it's blank, so that's fine. Let's press yes, and it's complete. So I hope that gives you a bit of insight into the WK-1600, the way it operates, the kind of vibe it's putting across. Remember also you've got your DSP and also you can layer two sounds. That includes two user sounds that you've synthesized. Layer them on top of each other, experiment, see what kinds of sounds you can come up with. Thanks for watching Gear Facts. Please like, comment or subscribe and I'll see you on the next one.